Welcome to the Embody Your Design podcast. I am your host, Amy May, 6'3" emotional manifesting generator. I am obsessed with human design and mindset tools and using them to create a life beyond my wildest dreams. My goal with this podcast is to bring you human design and share stories around how you too can begin to embody your human design. What is talked about in this podcast are the thoughts and opinions of me and my guests. I'm always welcome to feedback should you have any. Thank you for being here, and let's dive in as we embody our human design, one conversation at a time. Oh my gosh, I wanted to record a solo episode and just share with you guys a little bit about what is going on with me and some ways in which I am expanding. I'm so excited. And how I've been working within my own human design to grow, to get more in alignment. I think so often we focus on, oh my gosh, I'm out of alignment. Oh my gosh, I'm out of alignment. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. And it can feel like this very shaky energy. And I don't think I've really shared this publicly before, but I deal with anxiety. I deal with getting like anxious, and in certain circumstances, like I get really short of breath. It primarily used to present itself as a like driving anxiety, and as I was contemplating it, I recognized that it came from, I think it came from my defined root, and I would just feel all of a sudden feel all this pressure to urgently move, or like it my anxiety when driving presents itself when there's other cars around me. If I'm alone on the road, cool, I'm great, I'm amazing, but the moment that there are cars around me, which of course it happens a lot, but the more cars, like heavy traffic, it would get really like crippling. And I laugh at this story now, but I live in the suburbs of Chicago, and so you may know, no matter where you live, you may recognize the name O'Hare Airport. It's fairly close. It's like within driving distance of where I grew up. And out of college, I had one of my first jobs out of college. I worked for Panera. I was technically the title was marketing coordinator, but really essentially what they had me do was catering. And I had to drive out of the way, and I don't know. I just am in my own world. I've got 8 defined human design centers, so I often get in my own little world, little Amy world, and everything. And I misinterpreted a driving sign, and I got in an express lane on my way home on the highway, and it was an express to O'Hare Airport. And this was in the time before GPSs. Well, GPSs existed. This was in 2008, but they weren't really common. It was like all the rich people had them. I did not have one yet. However, I was grateful I had a cell phone, because a few years prior I didn't even have that. And I found myself, it's like, okay, I can do this. I can figure this out. Like turn around as soon as I, get to the airport and get back or whatever. No, I found myself, because all the signs and everything was so confusing with O'Hare, stuck in a loop, driving through O'Hare Highway, through O'Hare Highway, and it was busy. This was, during rush hour traffic. This was at around dinner time. It was probably 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I'm freaking out. I'm calling everybody that I know on my cell phone who can help me, and nobody is answering their phones. I'm freaking out. I'm shaking. I'm breathing heavy. Finally, I reach my parents, And my mom answers, and I just start bawling. I'm breathing heavy. I'm just like, I'm stuck in O'Hara. And she's like, I can't talk to you right now. I'm hanging up. And that was like the worst thing she could have done. And I was just freaking out even more. Oh my gosh. Even as I'm telling this story, I'm starting to get like teary eyed. I'm feeling these feelings. Finally, my dad calls back, and then my dad, I love my dad. He essentially knew, because my dad traveled a lot for work. He knew O'Hare really well, knew the area really well. I eventually made it home, and everything was great. Everything was good, but I deal with like these crippling moments of anxiety, and I just freeze. And when things get scary, and there's these moments where we have really scary circumstances, and over the past 4 years I've been dealing with a lot of really scary circumstances in my life, like off and on. And a lot of the times I present to people like, oh yeah, I'm great. Like, I see so much positivity, and I have so much like love for my life, for things that are going on. But also at the same time, like, there's some really scary things that have been happening, not to me. I don't like saying it that way because it's like victim, but like some really scary circumstances. And sometimes the anxiety would want to take over, and it's scary. And the thing is when I learned about my human design, when I learned and began to work with the energetics, that is when like things keep on changing and shifting for me. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this episode. Is like, there's gonna be moments where maybe you're not sure how you're going to pay a certain bill. Like, maybe perhaps, and I've been here, where you sign up for a program on a payment plan and you're unable to pay the payments. Like, you knew how to do the first payment, but you don't know where all the following payments are going to come from. And you get closer to that payment date, and you're just feeling this tight, like crippling kind of energy. Like, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay this? Oh my gosh, I need to go like sell things. Like, if you're a business owner, I need to go like some people I know, like, go sign up to deliver for DoorDash, or do Amazon deliveries or something. Like, you just feel this crippling, like, oh my gosh, I need to make this money now. I need to go like sell some things. Like, I need to like babysit, go mow some lawns. I don't know. Like, it just this rapid, like, oh my gosh, I need this energy. I need to do this. And it can feel so shaky, and it can feel so scary. And the thing is that when we focus so much on the time, on this timeline, and we make up emergencies inside of our heads so often. Like, what is going to happen if you're unable to do this thing in this time? What's the worst that's going to happen? Or what's likely going to happen? Like, thinking about the times that you've been taken care of, like, oh my gosh, you forgot your credit card expired, and you had it on an automatic payment, and the payment got declined. What do? Oh, you contact the person, and you update the card, and everything's going to be fine. Like, if there's something going on, like, you can figure it out. It'll get figured out. I'm not always the perfect one about this, but the more you get comfortable with communicating and taking responsibility and taking care of things, the better it goes. and how I've worked within like my own energy and recognizing my own energy. Like, so often I would let my anxiety triggers put me in a spiral that would last for a long, long time. The more that I do this work and recognize, like, okay, I see things a certain way because I have a tendency to see things a certain way due to my defined ajna center and, specifically this channel of logic. Like, I love to like figure out why getting like sometimes asking questions, but sometimes even like uh, I get out of alignment because I feel embarrassed for my questions, and so I've blocked it out. Sometimes, but other times I'm just like, oh, I want to know why. I want to know why. Oh, I'm like curious about this, and I can get really fixated on it, and seeing things in a certain light instead of opening it up and expanding it. Like the more we expand our horizons, the more we expand our circumstances and see the bigger picture. Like maybe this time where perhaps you're worrying around how you're going to pay for certain things or like a money circumstance, maybe that is a lesson that you're meant to learn around abundance, around trusting, around maybe it's around asking for help, maybe it's around just getting in alignment with your own energy. Like there's so much, there's such a bigger picture, like if you taking let's take like weight loss for example, or being healthy. Like a bigger picture would be like, I want to be, this is something current for me, like I want to be healthy in my body. I want to feel really good in my body. I want to feel comfortable. And a smaller context would be I need to lose like 5 pounds in a week. But like and there can be so much judgment and like freaking out over every little thing that I put in my body, every movement that I make, and whether I'm drinking enough water or whatever, da, 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 and oh my gosh, I missed this one day, it's the end of the world. Like when I make it really small. But when I go bigger, like, okay, how can I take care of my body? How can I be healthy? Like yesterday, I I was really tired yesterday. I didn't sleep much the night before. I had been working a lot, and I was just so tired, and my body needed to rest. And so instead of pushing myself and maybe like, oh, I didn't hit my goal of 10,000 steps on my watch, I'm only at like 6,000, I gotta go like get 4,000 steps and like exercise, da, da, da. My body needed to sleep, so I let myself sleep. And I woke up today feeling much more energized, much more well rested, while I was anxious about something else. But in general, like I was able to like, oh, my body feels so much better today now that I rested last night. And it's helping me on my overall journey to a healthier, more vibrant body. Versus like if I was so focused on like a certain number or numbers or really small goals in a certain time period, then I would have been so focused on that. And the thing is, I also have an undefined root. And so the thing with deadlines are very, very helpful for me. And so I do need a little bit of deadlines, but I give myself grace with them. Like I don't give like if I miss a deadline or if something happens, like I give myself a deadline to keep me on track, to keep me a little bit productive and to keep me accountable. But I don't let it mean anything if I don't hit it. Because when I just stay super general in general, I don't necessarily get anything done. If I say, oh, one day I'm going to go to the gym, da 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 da, I won't likely ever go to the gym. But if I maybe make call up somebody, be like, hey, you want to go to the gym with me, or let's go for a walk together, I'm more likely to do it. Or if I put it in my calendar. But if I wake up that day and, oh, I'm sick, or like, oh, I'm sick, I can't do this, then I give myself permission to rest and I don't let it mean anything. I look at the overall, like, big context, but I play around with little deadlines that will help me stay focused on the bigger context, if that makes any sort of sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And you know, I see I see so many people, and even in my podcast episodes with my guests, like I talk about types, or there's like categories of human design types, but really honestly it is the deeper levels of the energetics that really matter. Like when I talk about my defined Ajna, or my undefined root, or my defined ego center, whatever it is I talk about or share, that's really where the energy has played out for me. I never fully related to a lot of the characteristics of what people say a manifesting generator is. Gonna be honest. I even follow accounts or seen posts from like Erin Claire Jones or um, Jenna Zoe, like My Human Design, or other people, and they're like, like a manifesting generator. Immediately after a trip, they're like unpacking and they go for a walk and then they go to bed exhausted. No, psh. After a trip, I like never unpack right away. I'm just like, boom. I'm like, let's nap. Um, and I'm like, yeah, screw it. I'm tired. Um, and no, I don't want to do that. And like things like that, I'm just like, I never fully relate to those kind of posts. But when when people share about, or even like me and my own exploration and understanding of everything, when I look at my centers, when I look at my gates, I'm like, oh yeah. And so this is where the deeper work is. And my next level is I'm expanding. I am expanding. Like, I love human design. I love human design as a tool, and it's really great. And I love doing my human design readings and my human design blueprints. And those aren't going to go away. They're just going to update and get so much better and so much juicier. Yeah, so good. But I'm gonna be honest. Like I find like the typical teaching of human design kind of boring. The Manny Gen in me is like, okay, cool. I like to play around with this. I like to explore this, but I don't like to share it with others. So if you're listening, if you've been a part of my world, I do have some self-paced courses on in my store, and I have a freebie library. But my latest offer is my VIP lounge, which is a member a membership that has like lifetime. There's a lifetime option, which I love. I love, love, love for the people who are just like, no, I don't want to pay monthly. I don't want to keep on paying monthly. I just want to do a one-time payment, be a part of something cool. I'm in it. I'm in it forever. Yes. This lounge is just going to have like human design support. You get in the lounge, you get discounts for anything that um, for select programs and offers. Yeah, that's the right way to phrase it. Won't necessarily be like every little thing, but there'll be discounts. I'm so excited. In July, I'm going to be teaching a masterclass all around the G Center in human design, which is the magnetic monopole, and how we can use that. It has like this magnet to draw in abundance. Oh, so excited. So excited. And in the lounge, there's going to be monthly hot seat coaching calls with me that will be on Zoom. And there's a Facebook community where you can just post, share, connect. There's very minimal rules, like be kind to others, don't spam. But the people that I'm attracting into this are not spammy people, but who knows? This and it's a place where you can connect, you can ask questions, you can receive support, and truly like embodying and really understanding the energetics of your human design. And I am I am working with some people to bring in some like Reiki energy healings, somatic work, other tools. Like it's going to be this huge experience for the people who join in. And it's beyond just human design. Like in this lounge, you're not necessarily going to get, this is what a defined G center is, this is what da 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 da. And it's bigger than that, it's more expansive than that. And I'm super excited. Hopefully you can hear it in my voice. I've got this big smile on my face. But anyways, I will be putting the links to join that in the show notes. I am there's some bonuses for people who join the lifetime, juicy bonuses. The first 5 people who join the lifetime will get a 60-minute one-on-one call with me where it could be a human design reading if you've never had one. It can be like a coaching call, anything that you need support with, you get that with me. I'm super excited. Those are so good. And I am adding new things to the lounge all the time. Yes, when you join, you will get immediate access to the Facebook group and the first masterclass I will be teaching in July, the first week of July after the 4th of July holiday. I know some people aren't really into celebrating with everything going on. I don't personally. I've treated the holiday like it's a holiday. I get a day off from work, yay! But it's more about me spending time with my family than celebrating the country, if that makes sense. But anyways, I digress. So good. Also, if you love human design, if you've been listening to this podcast for some time and you love human design, I would love to chat with you on the podcast. I'd love to feature you on here. It's not just for human design experts, it's for anybody who loves human design or how learning human design has made an impact on your life. So there's a link in the show notes to apply to be on the podcast. I'd love to have you on. And I want to thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Okay, you guys, if you have not heard about Anchor by Spotify, it is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything that you need all in one place. This is what I use to create my podcast. And I don't know about you, but I love things that are free, and I have tried other places to make podcasts, and just Anchor makes it so easy because it has the tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And you can distribute your podcast on all these different listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And especially me as a PC user, it's easier for me I love Spotify. I'm obsessed with it, but it's easier for me to use like something that isn't just Apple product based. And it's everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. And it's totally free. So you can download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Want to dive even deeper? I invite you to check out my free membership, Embody Your Design. We dive deep into how you can embody your unique human design. Link to join is in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, I would appreciate a review on iTunes. As a special thank you, you could send your screenshot of the review to theamymae@gmail.com, and my team will send you a little gift. I invite you to tag me on Instagram at theamymae with your favorite part of this episode. Thanks again for listening, and see you in the next episode.